Oh, Cody, we are bearing down on it. I can't believe it, but we're only 2 days out from the Kentucky game for the Texas Longhorns here. And as usual on a Thursday, we're going to be talking about our keys to victory. What do we need to see out of the Longhorns to come out of this week and make sure that we come back here on Monday on Football with Friends for a Victory Monday. Before we do that, let's talk about our presenting sponsor here, the Man Eye Institute. Make sure you give them a phone call, 844-WOW-2020, 844-WOW-2020. The Man Eye Institute is where you can see life better. Next level LASIK, cataracts, all of your vision needs. Make sure and give them a phone call, 844-WOW-2020. There would not be a show, believe it or not, without the Man Eye Institute. So if you like the show, please make sure and go support those guys. And of course, I'm wearing the Texas Beef Traders hat. Make sure and support those guys too. I was by there last night and noticed that they were selling the Alpha Seasoning, which is Cody and I's elite spice blend. Make sure and go check it out over there. Support the guys at Texas Beef Traders. And remember, you always get 10% off whenever you mention Orange Bloods. All right, Cody, keys to victory. Do you know one that I'll start with? For one, I've been so busy today, and I did not get. Can you give me a rundown of anything interesting Sark might have said today on his media call?
I guess the biggest takeaway was the Michael Terry stuff. Michael Terry officially working with the running backs.
Oh, they've been listening to the show.
He's been the scout team running back for the last 3 weeks. That was, I guess, the biggest nugget. The second one was Cole Hudson, who came out as out in the injury report last night, and Sark basically said it's not a season-ending issue, but it is something similar to what somebody else on the team has had, and they came back quick. And so my brain went to Gooseby with his preseason injury, like a hand injury. That's kind of where my brain went, but I guess he got hurt on the last play of the game. I didn't went back and probably should have went back and watched that before today's show. But
the last play of the game was a kneel down.
I know that there's a note that said he didn't play in the last. Did he play in the last snap of the game?
I don't chart kneel down snaps.
No, I know, but did he? Okay, I'll just pull it up while we're talking. But that was the two biggest notes.
So the last play of the game, I'm actually on it right here on the all 22. It is 54 is snapping the football to Arch, and he doesn't look like he hurt his hand right there to me. He just walks in and just I can show it here on screen. I mean, if that
obviously if it's the kneel down, it's not going to be something he hurt his hand on.
Yeah, let's see.
Looks like his left hand is taped up on the previous play.
Yeah, let me get to the tight angle here. Maybe we'll see a little bit better. Anything?
Well, he's not going to hurt it on that play. It'll have been the one before that, if anything, but he snapped on the one before that too.
So it would have been on this one
where he kind of pulls out and he blocks 56. He didn't look like he hurt it on that either. I don't know. He did have his left hand taped. That was kind of the only thing that kind of came to mind. But anyway, Sark had said that it's not season ending and that it was a similar injury to what somebody else this is literally how he phrased it, was similar injury to what somebody else on the team has had this year, and they got back quicker than expected. So we're hoping he does the same. If you watch the end of this play, watch him he's got his left hand taped. Watch him kind of like, it's the only thing that like, watch him kind of let him walk though. Okay, so he squeezes his left hand a little bit like this. So that's kind of like where I was like, I wonder. But
I'm not sure it's a hand. I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. It stinks. I mean, it's great to have an injury report. It kind of stinks that they don't have to tell us anything about it. But like, I mean, my biggest key to victory is it has to do with that, and it has to do with, can Connor, and I'm assuming that you think it's Connor Robertson, right? You're not one of these Orange Bloods posters that think they're just going to put in Daniel Cruz just because Robertson hasn't been good, right?
Oh no, I thought for sure it was going to be. I'm just kidding.
Okay. No, I mean, people were asking, dude, on Orange Bloods. They're like, Alex, is there any way it's going to be Daniel Cruz? I'm like, guys, with these.
No, he said it was Connor Robertson.
Yeah, okay. But with these coaches, I'm just like, they are not going to have Nick Brooks out there. And we had the whole Nick Brooks conversation yesterday. You guys can listen back if you'd like. But they're not going to have a center starting his first game next to that guy at left guard. They just aren't. They're gonna need a dude who could point some stuff out. That's the whole issue with Brooks is he needs some help with some of the some of the calls, and he needs help with some of the protections. And Connor Robertson, despite being just he's limited as a player, but so is Cole Hudson. I think that is gonna be an important thing to you know just get a level out of Robertson that's at least as good as Hudson. And it really is not asking for much. But the last time that we did have Robertson in there, he did play at a level that was lower than what even the Cole Hudson kind of lowered baseline. So I think that guy playing at a level that's at least just 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 serviceable or just a touch under serviceable could be really important just because of the pieces you have associated there at the left guard.
It's wild that we kind of both landed on the same that we haven't talked literally all day, haven't exchanged a text, haven't talked nothing. And I come in here and I'm watching the Kentucky South Carolina game from a couple of weeks ago. And I see David Gusta, who's the defensive tackle number 60, the nose tackle for Kentucky. And I see him getting pressure. He's the one guy in that defensive line that consistently kind of, if he gets you right, he gets pressure up the middle. And that's kind of where the hole is at this week is Connor Robertson being a replacement to Cole Hudson. It's slowing down just any type of pressure that they can bring and fulfilling your blocks in the run game. That's two things that I've seen him so far in the South Carolina game. He didn't grade out that well. He had a pressure, a couple tackles, a run stuff in that game against South Carolina, but they want to run the football with Lenore Sellers. And I think Texas is going to go into this game where a year ago they ran for 250 yards on the ground. They're going to want to go in here and run the ball again. We just heard Sark today talk about how well Wisner's doing right now. He said that James Simon had his best week of the season so far with Christian Clark.
Best week of practice.
Yeah, his best week of the practice because he said that it was the way that Sark talked about it was that it was the first week that Wisner's really been 100%. So then these guys were able to see him play like he's 100% and with the abilities that we know Wisner can play at with his peak abilities, and that brought their game up even more. So I think this is a game where you're going to see all three of these guys get plenty of carries, and I think we might be in for like a doppelganger of what we saw last year. They outrushed them 250-20.
What did he say about Terry specifically?
Onmore asked about Terry, and he said that he asked if Michael Terry was going to be working with the running backs. He said Michael Terry has been working as the scout team running back for the last 3 weeks, and he's now switched into the running back room.
That's the biggest news of the day.
Yeah.
Michael Terry, dude. I hope that you're not going. I hope this is a game where we can get some of the backups in there to where we can maybe just get a glimpse of Michael Terry running the football. I think that's the kind of thing where you open up that Pandora's box and it could be hard to kind of put the toothpaste back in the tube after you see that guy reel a couple off.
Well, in a game like y'all put your predictions in on the prediction show, I just watched it and everything was kind of like a 2 to 3 score game. Like in that situation, I'm not sure we're going to get to Michael Terry.
Yeah. Well, would be awfully cool, man. It would also be look. Here's the other key. It's like it would be awfully cool to see Trey Wisner just do again what he did last time. I don't think we're going to get Trey Wisner doing this over an extended period of time. But I was looking and speaking of the Prize Picks show, I was telling those guys, man, on Prize Picks they're probably going to put his number at like 59.5 or something like that. You should smash the over. It's like there's a couple numbers on Prize Picks that they don't give us a straight up line for Wisner just yet. But what they do is they give you I'll have to look back. They give you goblins. Like they give you like short lines, of you can have it at 59.5 and that's a goblin. And even 69.5 is a goblin. You have to take it all the way up to 99.5 and make it be a demon. So I would imagine that they probably have. So if it's 69.5 and then 99.5 is the lowest. So if 69.5 is the highest goblin and 99.5 is the lowest demon,
we're looking at an 82 and a half.
84 and a half. Yeah. 82, 80, 84 and a half. I think that's I think that's probably a good line. I think I'd still be inclined to take the more on it. Same. But like he needs that to go over. Texas needs that guy to keep running like this because regardless of any excitement that anybody has about Michael Terry or James Simon having his best week of practice, they have not had the running game looking like it was popping like it was versus Oklahoma. So that's my second key to victory.
I think that's big. Mine is just straight up playing the same defense you played last week. If you play with the same energy and the same tenacity that this defense played with last week against Oklahoma, because they clearly had a chip on their shoulder, right? And you saw it radiate through that defense as early as the first quarter with guys hitting and guys filling gaps, whether it was Michael Taft or it was Jelani McDonald with 8 tackles, it felt like by halftime, or Simmons, Spence, Jackson, Hill, you name it. Play with the same energy and tenacity and let that thing carry over into the rest of the season. If you play with that energy and that tenacity, this team won't score on you. That's just the honest truth. If you play with the same energy, the same tenacity you did against Oklahoma, it'll be a shutout in Lexington on Saturday night.